What is up, Pokefans? Welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Matt, and welcome to Season 7, where we climb the rank master ladder till we get to master rank, which we've already achieved, using a team that we built from scratch. Now we're going to try to aim for the sub 10,000 in the rankings. Not going so far, but we're going to give it our good old college try. And then after that, we'll see if we can get 100 matches before the end of the month, and we are currently 80 matches in, so it's very likely that we'll hit that number. So yay. So a couple of things before we get into our first match. A question for all of you, since this is the first minute of the video. Do you guys like the length of the videos? Are they too long? Are they too short? If I go off of my own analytics, a lot of you guys tend to dip after the 5-minute mark. Now, if that's the case, I want to ask the question, are these too long, or are these okay for you? Would rather just pop in and out. For me personally, I like popping in and out. Like if I can listen to something straight on and not have to like listen to it and just kind of pretend this is a podcast and I'm either narrating or being able to tell you what's happening on the screen, I like that potential more than just kind of watching it. But I also, me as a creator, or I guess as a watcher, I will sit and listen to the Fresno like regionals day 1 and day 2 over and over again. But sometimes I want to see it in front of me. So I'm excited both ways, but if I could just listen to it, that's far better than me having to see it. So that's my question to you guys. Which one would you rather prefer? Because I can make less matches show up or even post one match if that's what you guys want. So it depends on what you guys think. I'm up for some ideas and different editing techniques if I need to start changing things. Second up, Gimme Ghoul is still up and running. It looks like it will be going until July 2nd. So far in my roster, I have caught 5, and I'm really only catching the 5-star ones to hope for the shiny. How's your guys' shiny hunt going? Because mine's not going very well. I'm still trying. But every day I get on and do my Gimme Ghoul raids. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I get a shiny before the event's over. With those out of the way, let's go ahead and get into our first match of the day. Here is match 1. All right, our first match is ready to go. We've got Dodonzo, Tatsugiri, Indeedee, Armarouge, Iron Hands, and Fluttermane. A good assortment of Pokemon. Now, what are we going to do to counter them? Well, I'm a little afraid of Indeedee, Armarouge, as, you know, expanding force is still a thing, but that might be the open. And if that's the open, I have one Pokemon that ignores all of that. But there's also Dodonzo, who also does Commander. So there's that whole thing. My thought process is it's going to be either Dodonzo, Tatsugiri, or Indeedee, Armarouge, and then the other two are going to fit in the back. I mean, they could open up with those 4, right? But then why would you when I have an obvious strategy to beat it? So it's just one of those things. We'll go in with the Torkoal, Great Tusk, to Fluttermane, to Chien-Pao. I'm not bringing in Jumpluff because the opposite side of both of these teams is Trick Room. And I don't have a resetter for Trick Room, which I'll obviously need to start carrying for Regulation D. Season 8 is going to be insane for speed controls, and I'm going to need one person to do that. So we have Indeedee and Armarouge, both shiny. Congratulations. Psychic Surge prevents the ways of the thingies. Yes, thingies. It prevents everyone from using priority moves. Okay, so for Torkoal, we're probably going to get baited into a wide guard follow me. So what I want to do in this situation is to go with an overheat to Indeedee, and we can go into a Rock Slide, but Rock Slide's gonna get hit with the wide guard, and I'd rather not do that. So I'm gonna go with the Burn to Armarouge. But I think I'm gonna Terra Fire here, so I don't get hit with psychic attacks. I think Great Tusk is gonna be weak against psychic, like Expanding Force is gonna do a lot of damage. So I want to annihilate that altogether. Now Armarouge could also carry Terra Grass, which then that's a huge read with Flash Fire. It's definitely hard. And that might be what they're doing now. They're going to tear the Armarouge, and it's going to be Psychic. Okay. Interesting. Must be going for that. So here's the follow me from Entity. So we foresaw that for sure. Headlong rush into the Entity slot, which is going to knock it out. Unfortunate. I can only hope that Armarouge doesn't use Flash Fire, but he's definitely going to. Expanding Force. We'll hit both and knock them out because that is a really, really strong attack. I did take down one. It's unfortunate they took down two, but I did take down one. Oh, we'll do that. It's also fast. But that's not saying a whole lot because, you know, Iron Hands comes out next. It's not saying much because of the fact that he was going to be faster than Torkoal, obviously. Okay, so we've got a couple of options here. We could do the Sucker Punch into the Armarouge, but it's not going to work because of the Psychic Field. But we do have Ice Spinner, which I'm going to set that up first. And I'm going to set up the Moonblast into the Iron Hand slot. Armarouge will protect because, oh, good on you. And no fake out from the Iron Hands, but we'll almost get the KO. Lower sound at special attack. Ice Spinner into the Armarouge, which won't go very far. And what is your final attack? Earthquake on the Iron Hands. Interesting. We'll almost get the KO on the Fluttermane, but will not. So now we'll swap up the attack roster here. We'll do Ice Spinner on the Iron Hands, which should knock him out. And we're going to do Moonblast on the Armarouge, which may knock him out. I'm not 100% sure. Moonblast into the Armarouge will knock him out. Get out of here. Thank you for coming. And we might have evened this out because Champao now attacks. And we'll take the Psychic Field with him. Yay. So now it's 2 versus 1. And is it Fluttermane? It is. Neat. So now their special attack was heightened. Okay. I'm going to Sucker Punch into that slot, and I'm going to Moonblast into that slot because I can't do anything else. Sucker Punch. We'll take it down really, really far, and then Moonblast to finish it up. Not bad. I thought this was going to be one-sided, but thankfully we came out with the W. All right, second match is ready to go. Ooh, how interesting. We got Glimmora, Garganacl, Tinglu, Hippowdon, Gyarados, and Rotom Wash. Okay, how do we deal with this monstrous team, I wonder? I have no idea. Okay, so I mean he's gonna bring in Hippowdon. He has to, because I'm bringing in Sun, so we actually have to plan like somewhat to deal with the Weather War. So we're gonna bring in Torkoal, Fluttermane, Great Tusk, and I think Jumpluff is gonna be like the best bet. I could bring in Gyarados for the obvious switch-ins with their Gyarados and Rotom as well. But is that going to make a huge amount of difference when I have Glimmora on the other side with the Power Gem and Earth Power? It's really hard. Like, it's really, really hard to decide. But Glimmora is going to be a powerful Pokemon to deal with. Okay, the opponent opens up with Gyarados and Glimmora, which will trigger Torkoal's Eject Pact. Sun will come out, activating photosynthesis, triggering the eject pack, and now we'll bring out Major Jumpluff. So Jumpluff will now come out. Now we could Tailwind to even double our speed, in which we don't really need to. The thing I want to try to upset the most is the Glimmora. That's probably the most dangerous thing on the field right now. And I'm going to Thunderbolt the Gyarados, which they're going to retreat, so that's a good call. And who are you going to bring it out? Probably Hippowdon? It is. Now, he's ground, which means I'm not going to really take a whole lot off. Thunderbolt is going to go into that slot, which is going to do anything. Sleep Powder into that slot is going to be avoided by Glimmora. Sludge Bomb into Jumpluff is going to knock it out. Not good. Not good on my side, if I say so myself. We'll bring in Great Tusk. Do Headlong Rush. Actually, we'll set up with the Rock Slides. And we'll switch the weather again. I could have saved Jumpluff if I would have Terra'd into water, but I don't think it would have done a whole lot. Glimmora is really, really hard to deal with when Toxic Debris is its ability. Like, Coercion is a little bit easier, but not really. It's like really good against steel types. But in terms of everything else, I don't know. Withdrew Hippowdon to bring out probably Gyarados again. Yep. We did click in Rock Slide, so this is going to do a lot to him. And I don't really care if it drops our attack. It just makes us neutral at that point. But I'm hoping for the flinch. Toxic Debris still spread. Yep, there's the flinch. Okay, we'll do it again. And I mean, we could erupt. Let's helping hand the Great Tusk. Let's see what happens there. Withdrew Gyarados again. Bring out Hippowdon. So this is definitely going to be like a swap battle between the two weathers. So now this is going to be -1, so we're no longer neutral. But I'm hoping for the double flinch with the Rock Slide. See, Toxic Debris. Power Gem comes out on that side. We'll one-shot the Torkoal. There's no reason, no way to get out of that one. So Toxic Debris, even though that prevents a lot of people from attacking that Pokemon, it still does not work half the time. See, I have to swap out for people to become paralyzed or become poisoned, and if they're not switching, they're not becoming poisoned. But now I'm just gonna get this set up. I think we're looking at a huge loss at this one, just because we haven't really been able to KO any of the Pokemon, and with Hippowdon constantly switching in and out, the Weather War is for sure real. Glimmora is a problem for my team, for sure. Spiky Shield goes up for Glimmora. Hippowdon doesn't seem to be doing anything, but Great Tusk will use Rock Slide, which will protect Glimmora. And Hippowdon avoids the attack. That's cool. So here comes Dazzling Gleam now, which will hit the Hippowdon. 2/3. Hippowdon will now use Earthquake, which will ignore Glimmora, but will hit the rest of the party for a lot. Fluttermane will still stand, hit by the Sandstorm and then Poison. And Great Tusk just kind of sits there and looks pretty. And we'll set up with the Rock Slide, Dazzling Gleam again. Rock Slide goes out, does a little bit of damage. Dazzling Gleam does a little bit more damage. We finally take down the Hippowdon, so he can no longer switch the weather. I don't think it really matters at this point. Sludge Bomb will come in and knock out the Fluttermane. I'm glad to be locked into Rock Slide instead of Headlong Rush or Earthquake. Okay. So here comes Gyarados, which will make my set -2. But still, oh, he wasn't buffed by Sandstorm. Interesting. That tells me his item is not what it usually is. -1. Gyarados retreats. It brings out Ting-Lu. That's cool. Lowers down special attack for everyone except for himself. And there goes Glamora. Gyarados comes out now. Intimidating to make it -4. Here comes another Rock Slide. I mean, this damage is so small. It's super tiny. Hits Ting-Lu and Gyarados. Gyarados will hit with the Waterfall, which does quite a bit to Great Tusk. And Fissure, which will knock out Great Tusk completely. That's dope. I haven't seen Fissure on Ting-Lu in forever. Good on you for using it. All right, our third match is underway. We've got Sableye, Ceruledge, Baxcalibur, Magnezone, Meowscarada, and Palafin. Interesting assortment of Pokemon here. So, to note, Pokemon to watch out for. Sableye knows Fake Out, also Prankster. Could also use other moves, but I think that's the big wide assortment of it, of what to watch out for. Ceruledge, the bulkier Pokemon of Armarouge. Even though Armarouge is mainly used with, Entity, you can use Ceruledge by himself and kind of treat him like Annihilate, and you will probably get the same result as if you had Mousehold on it or another person that could be his, potential partner. Magnezone, I don't really know what he's up for. I know he's Electric Steel, so he's a good alternative for electric types and steel types to answer for Fluttermane. Meowscarada, Flower Trick. Obviously, we just need to know if it's Protean or Overgrow for their ability and the item that it's associated with them. And then Palafin, just Palafin. Baxcalibur is also going to be very interesting because we don't really know what's going to happen with that. But we're going to walk in with our 4 with Fluttermane, Torkoal as our open. And our back, we're going to have Great Tusk and Jumpluff. Because we do want to have people to swap in for, and Great Tusk is going to be that. I didn't think that Qian Pao would be useful here. Or Gyarados. I can't rate that, so we got Ceruledge and Sableye to start off the fight with. Now, Ceruledge is going to have Flash Fire. There's no reason why it would have Weak Armor or the other ability that it would have. So I just need to be very, very careful of what I do from here. I'm going to Helping Hand the Fluttermane because I go faster than Fake Out. And then I'm going to go ahead and just Shadow Ball the Ceruledge. Because Fake Out can't go against Fluttermane. Doesn't have Mold Breaker. So we get a little bit of an extra boost of our attacks, and we're just going to put that right into Ceruledge to hopefully knock it out. And we do. To eliminate the immediate threat. Because Ceruledge, once he gets 1 or 2 bulk offs off, he's going to be really, really hard to take down. Next up, we have Meowscarada. And we are now free to attack. And we're unfortunately locked into Shadow Ball with Fluttermane. But we can do this instead. We're gonna overheat Meowscarada. Oh, okay, that's cool. Gonna overheat Meowscarada, but we're probably locked into Encore now. We'll see. But we almost took out Sableye with the Shadow Ball. Drops him down to his berry, which seems to be citrus. So there's that. Knockoff will change Meowscarada. Okay, so change Meowscarada from his typing. So it is Protean, so now he's dark. Okay, we'll do that, and because we're not locked into anything, we're just going to. Well, we could be locked into something else. I'm not sure. We'll do Dazzling Gleam. Withdrew Sableye to try to save him a little bit. Sent out. I can't read that. Magnezone. We'll float in the air because of Air Balloon. Helping Hand into the Torkoal, which is totally fine. Dazzling Gleam now comes out, which will not knock out Meowscarada. It will have a Focus Sash. And I pop the Air Balloon on Magnezone. Knock off again. We'll go onto the Torkoal and knocks off the Eject Pact. I mean, you're not really helping your case here. I'm just gonna go ahead and just do this again. Oh, battle is canceled. Never mind. That was an interesting game 3. Alrighty, so match number 4 is ready to go. We got Hippowdon, Ticketon, Wu-Chen, Bronzong, Dragonite, and Volcarona. A similar set, besides Hippowdon, knocked me out of the Portland Regionals. So this is going to be very, very interesting. So we're going to be fighting for the weather here unless I forsake weather altogether and not worry about it. So what's the other alternative? Well, Tinkaton is going to be posing a lot of problems. So I think it is Steel Fairy, kind of like Zacian and Zamazenta. Let's see. Fighting would do some sort of damage to it. We could get set up with our old Jumpluff, like Great Test combo. I'm not 100% sure what to do. We'll bring in Fluttermane, Jumpluff. We'll sign in Torkoal for the weather. And in the event that somehow I get knocked out, we will go with Chanpao. We'll leave Fluttermane and I believe Gyarados in the back. I think that's going to be the combo. Now, Bronzong also does set up Trick Room, so we do need to be wise about that. So take a tongue and Hippowdon, hoping that the Mold Breaker. Okay. Sandstorm does come up now. We'll swap. Okay, we did leave Great Tusk, so we brought in our 2 Pokemon to deal with the weather. Very effective. And Ticketon can't really do a whole lot to us. Fake Out won't work. So Jumpluff come back. Torkoal come out. So we're gonna play the weather game. That's our win condition right now, is playing the weather game. Speed was heightened. Fake Out goes onto that slot. That's not that the Torkoal he just swapped in. But here, have a Shadow Ball. Which will get about 2/3. And we'll proc the red card. Okay. Not bad. Oh, I don't get to select the Pokemon, so interesting. Chanpao is dragged out. Sword of Ruin now activates. And Stealth Rock goes on the Hippowdon. Floats around the team. That's cool. We will go ahead and just activate Eruption. And we will Ice Spinner the Hippowdon. He's probably going to swap out. So while we got weakness now, we're going to hit the Pokemon next to it. It would be smart to swap out the Hippowdon now so that you can try to win the weather war, especially when you have stealth rocks out. We'll retreat to Tinkaton, which is interesting. Not the Pokemon I would retreat, but here comes the Pokemon, which is going to be Dragonite. Ice Spinner into the Hippowdon, which will not knock it out, but gets pretty close, about 2/3. Earthquake gets activated, does nothing to the Dragonite, and will not knock out either one of my Pokemon, but it does break the sash on Chien-Pao. Earthquake now, or Eruption does come out and does a little bit of damage to Hippowdon, but it will also break the multi-skill for Dragonite. Ooh, that was a lot to commentate there. So now what is the best option to do from here? We could protect with Torkoal to kind of survive against the Earthquake. We now know that Hippowdon isn't really locked into anything specific, but we could also Terra Flying and do Ice Spinner into the Dragonite. Let's see if they Terra, or I don't think they'll Terra, but they could Extreme Speed, which may knock out our own Chien-Pao, which will be really unfortunate because there's no way to really save them. Like, I can't just use an item, which would be really interesting if they allowed us to do that. But I Terra Flying and they Terra, most likely going to be the Dragonite. Is it normal or flying? It's going to be normal, and they're going to be spamming Extreme Speed now. Torkoal will protect. Hopefully they target it to that slot and not Chien-Pao. Extreme Speed will be into the Chien-Pao because otherwise it wouldn't do the animation, which will knock him out. I was hoping to avoid the upcoming Earthquake, which Hippowdon is going to use. Saw that one coming. But it will hit the Dragonite. Interesting. So now we'll go ahead and use Flutter Rain. Stone's pointed into Flutter Rain, but now we get Photosynthesis. And speed was heightened. So how... Sun's got 2 more turns. We'll switch over to the Flutter, or to Jump Bluff, and we will Dazzle Gleam both Pokemon. Rate to Torkoal to get ready to set the weather again. Again, they're not really trying to retreat anyone, but the Extreme Speed is going to come into Jump Bluff. May knock him out. Yep. But now here comes the Dazzling Gleam, which will knock out Hippowdon and gets Dragonite pretty far down there. I noticed something which was really, really interesting. Even though Stealth Rocks is supposed to only really hit people when they're touching the ground, Jump Bluff was part flying, so it shouldn't have been hit with that, but it did. So that was interesting, to say the least. All right, Torkoal gets hit with the rocks. He's going to protect himself, and I'm just going to Dazzle Gleam it up to hope to do a lot, because Fake Out can't work against Torkoal because he's going to protect. Doesn't touch Flutter Mane, and Extreme Speed is unfortunately not going to do anything to my side of the field. So go ahead and use that. Torkoal gonna just completely avoid it. Dazzling Gleam will knock out the Dragonite. Will not touch Tinkaton though. So if Tinkaton does any type of move that's on Flutter Mane, it's going to knock him out. Tinkaton Hammer, which does knock out Flutter Mane. A really weird weakness of Flutter Mane. And Sunlight has now faded. Oh, it's 2-on-1. I thought I got close enough to where it would make it fair, but no, it's not. All right. I'm going to hit the Tinkaton with Overheat. Doesn't matter. Here comes Psychic to knock out Torkoal. Not a bad match for it. Could have been done a little bit different. Maybe Great Tusk would have been a little bit more offensively, but It is what it is. Can't really change that now. Alrighty, so our final match is ready to go. We've got Scizor, Chien-Pao, Ceruledge, Dragonite, Volcarona, and Fluttermane. Oh boy, how do we deal with this bunch of Pokemon? Okay, so we've got basic almost every best offensive slash... Yeah, we got like a mixed bag of offense. Priority is going to be key here. So, Eject Pack, Fluttermane, the Torkoal Fluttermane. I want to bring in Great Test, but that's not going to really... I mean, it's Bug. It might do something to Volcarona. Chien-Pao or even Scizor. I mean, I could sleep the Scizor. I'm not really affected by... Oh, Grass might be. Flying isn't. We'll bring in Chien-Pao just to be on the safe side. Like, Jumpluff would obviously be like a good answer here with Sleep Powder. I'm not sure. It's really like with this wide assortment of Pokemon, it's really hard to come up with a good counter. And there's like counters and there's direct counters. Fluttermane, Chien-Pao up first against my Torkoal and Fluttermane. Okay. So what do I do here? Their special attack was heightened, my speed was heightened. But is that going to make a difference when Chien-Pao is on the other side of the field? I'm not sure. We will set up with an Eruption. She has to be on the safe side. And I want to click on Shadow Ball. I really do. I'm going to. Shadow Ball into that Fluttermane, which is no Sucker Punch on their side of the field. Will it knock out? And it does knock out the Fluttermane on the opponent's side of the field. Chien-Pao is now standing by himself, and he loads up an Icicle Crash on my Fluttermane, knocking him out as well. But now you've got a Erupting Torkoal in the sun going to do a massive amount of damage and drops him down to his Sash. This is why you do not sleep on Torkoal. Great Tusk comes out on my side of the field. And who are you bringing out? Ceruledge. Ceruledge now comes out. I get a Photosynthesis boost because of the sun. I am now going to protect on Torkoal and use Earthquake. Rock Slide. Rock Slide's going to be the thing. They're going to Terra. It's most likely going to be on the Ceruledge, and it is, and it's going to make them Grass. Immediate call out for the Earthquake upcoming, or even the Headlong Rush. I'm going to protect to make Torkoal live just a little bit longer. Rock Slide comes out from Great Tusk, which still does knock out the Chien-Pao and does a lot of damage to Ceruledge. It's about a fourth, and he gets the flinch. So now he's pretty much a sitting duck where he stands.
They're coming.
Okay.
I'll be like...
Okay. Alright, Dragonite is summoned on their side of the field. What do we do here? I think the best option that we have is to switch out to Chien-Pao and then continue with the Rock Slides on our support. They can't now they can't Terra, so Dragonite is unfortunately going to be Dragon Flying, which is going to be hit for a lot. But now we're going to lower down the defenses. Rock Slide comes out on our side of the field, which will do a lot to the Ceruledge and flinches him, but does nothing to the Dragonite, which gets off a Dragon Dance. But his scale is broken. So now Chien-Pao will go into the Ice Spinner into that slot and Rock Slide again to hopefully get the double KO at this point in time. Let's see what happens. Rock Slide will come out and hits the Ceruledge, knocking him out, and it will also knock out the Dragonite because he's part flying. and does a lot of damage, especially when multi-scale is broken. And this is a good final match of 5. I believe that's it, right? Absolutely. All right, our first match is up and ready to go. Just realized my mic is a little bit further down, but we've got Root Bonnet, Dodonzo, Screamtail, Iron Hands, Tatsugiri, and Torkoal. Very interesting team comp here. So we've got Iron Hands, which fake out Wild Charge, you know, Iron Hands things. Screamtail, which uses Encore and Disable. Root Bonnet, which Sucker Punch, maybe Loaded Dice and Bullet Seed. Tatsugiri and Dodonzo is the Commander combo. And I think Torkoal is just to either complement Screamtail and, Brute Bonnet. Because Brute Bonnet is faster than Torkoal for one, and Screamtail can get a speed boost, and which would make her incredibly fast. But is it enough to where it would make any difference? We're gonna set up with our Torkoal Fluttermane, Great Tusk to counteract Mr. Iron Hands there and Torkoal, and then we're gonna bring in Jumpluff for the Dodonzo possible open. If I can sleep the Dodonzo or force them to Terra so that Dodonzo doesn't Terra grass, I can then take like the W there. So there's one definite strategy, and then there's like sub strategies. The definite strategy is the Tatsugiri Dodonzo, and the subsequent is like boosting up the other Pokemon. So we got Screamtail and Iron Hands. So first off, what we want to do is we got Photosynthesis out there, and Screamtail is going to get heightened as well. It's probably going to be speed. Special defense, so it's a little bit more of a bulkier set. So we're going to protect on the Torkoal, and we're going to Shadow Ball the Screamtail. We're going to prevent Fake Out from ever being hit. Now he could go after Fluttermane right off the bat and just go with like the Heavy Slam. It's what my set would bring. But the Fake Out goes into Torkoal first, which is a good read. Now Fluttermane will now do Shadow Ball into Screamtail, which takes us out 2/3. And she activates Trick Room. Okay, now we got Twisted Dimensions. Now in this case, we're going to Overheat. Swap out our Pokemon to bring out Jumpluff, because Iron Hands might be wanting to counter with Heavy Slam, and because, you know, Fluttermane is quite fast right now, we're going to swap out to not have to worry about that. But now we go for the Eruption, which is going to hit both. Does not knock out the Screamtail, but gets pretty close. Does the Howl to increase the attack, and close combat will go into Torkoal, which will get about 2/3. Special defenses drop because of that, and we'll go ahead and do. We could do Overheat, but I think Eruption might be better. No, Overheat. Overheat's going to be the best. Jumpluff gets quite a bit of a speed boost, so we'll switch out a Great Tusk. Here we go. Overheat will now hit the Iron Hands, which should knock it out, and it does. Okay, what is Screamtail gonna use? It used Howl and Trick Room. Are you gonna do Perish Song next? Psychic Phase, which is gonna do a lot to Great Tusk because he's part fighting. Okay, they sent up Torkoal. Terra to Sleep Powder the Torkoal. And Rock Slide. Torkoal's gonna get... He's gonna do Eruption. There's no way that I could really save my Pokemon there. Terra will now go out. Into the Torkoal. Terra Fire. Yep. I'm not going to do Terra Water to save Jump Bluff. Because this Eruption is going to hurt a lot. I don't think it'll knock out, but it'll get pretty close. Here comes the Eruption. It gets half. And Psychic Fangs, we'll take out the rest. Oh, because it was a crit. Ooh. What are we gonna do now? I was hoping to be able to survive a turn. One more. Synthesis, speed is enhanced. How long do I have for Trick Room? Oh, Trick Room lasts one more turn. I don't think it's gonna matter too much. They still have 3 Pokemon. I have my 2, and they're gonna attack first. Here comes Eruption. Just sets it to my Torkoal. But we'll hit the Flutter Mane. So there's that. And Psychic Fangs now. So there goes Drought and Trick Room. I survived, but I was hoping to survive one more turn. So right now it doesn't really matter. Here, have an Eruption for free. Psychic Fangs. First loss of the next 5 games. Not bad though. Alrighty, next match is up and ready to go. We've got Bouldergast. I think that's how you say his name. Scyther, Noivern, Lucario, Golden Go, and Mousehold. So Boom Burst is something that we're not to worry about for Noivern. I don't remember what Bouldergast does. Something? I don't remember his name at the moment. Scyther's pretty interesting. I don't really know what he's gonna do. But Lucario is very interesting. And Mousehold. All I've said this entire episode is that's interesting. We're gonna bring in Great Tusk and Torkoal. So we're gonna jump off in the back, and I think Qian Pao is gonna be really beneficial here. I could bring in Flutter Mane, but I don't think that's gonna be the best way to go. I could take out Golden Go, but so can Great Tusk. I could take out Noivern, but if he Terra's normal to do Burn Burst, Qian Pao and Great Tusk can take care of him with no problem whatsoever. Bramblegast, I think Boulder, Bramble, something like that. The top guy can be taken out by fire types. So Torkoal can also take out Scyther and Golden Go as well. And yeah, so 2 out of the 4, or maybe even 3 out of the 4 could take out that entire team. And then 1 is just extra in case if I need it. Ooh, shiny Halucha. Okay, Mousehold and Noivern. Okay, Mousehold is gonna probably take our full attention away from Follow Me. We'll see. Should we protect here? If I do an AoE, protecting would be best. See, Rock Slide. Oh, Rock Slide does hit both. Yeah, let's do it. Rock Slide will hit both. We should have taken Torkoal out of his thing, but I'll just not worry about it for now. Because I don't particularly know what Mouseholt's going to do. He's got a lot of useful moves like Follow Me. He's got Encore. You know, Pop Bomb is still a thing. I just know that Noivern is going to be really annoying if he does what I think he's going to do. He's going to Terra, and it's the Mousehold to Poison. All right. And Noivern will protect, which is good. Torkoal will also protect. And I'm gonna go ahead and Rock Slide, which isn't gonna do anything to the Noivern. It locks me into Rock Slide, but I'm hoping to do just a fair amount of oh, never mind. Super Fang will come out and hit the Great Test for half. Okay. Yeah, why not? We'll try it this way. Rock Slide again, because we're locked into that slot, and we're going to Eruption to do the double. They can't, Noibat can't, or Noivern cannot, you know, Terra, so he's not going to be, you know, doing what I think he's going to do. But Super Fang onto the Torkoal, drops him down to half. Air Slash will take down Great Tusk, that's ×4, which is totally fine. But here comes the Eruption, which will do half. All right, now we got the Ice Spinning Chien-Pao. And I kind of want to get Chien-Pao, or at least Torkoal, out of here. So I'm going to Ice Spinner the Noivern, and I'm going to overheat the Mousehold. Okay, it's totally fine. Ice Spinner the Mousehold, which is going to knock him out. Now my Torkoal could be knocked out here, because there's the Boom Burst. Torkoal barely lives with just 7 HP, and Throat Spray comes out, raises its special attack 1 stage. Here comes the Overheat, which is going to do a lot of damage to Noivern. It's going to knock him out, lower my special attack harshly 2 stages. And now he gets ejected, and I get a free switch in for my own Pokemon, which is going to be Jumpluff. It was a good strat, but I foresaw Boom Burst coming out. You should have Terra-Normal Noivern to do a lot more damage. They sent out Golden Go and Scyther. Okay, first I'm gonna go ahead and Pollen Puff my own Chien-Pao. I'm gonna Sucker Punch. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna hit Scyther with Ice Spinner, which this might knock him out. He is pretty frail for the most part. Let's bring him up on the on Cerebi real quick. Scyther, Swarm Technician, and Steadfast. It's got 105 speed. That's his base. So I think Scyther protected. I'm not sure. I wasn't really looking at the screen. Nope. Scyther goes down. So a Technician, it makes every one of his attacks boosted by 50%. I think I just DC'd. God, I hope not. Oh no, they left. I still hate that, but alrighty. Our third match is ready to go. We've got the Beetle, Grimmsnarl, Electros, Mudstale, I think is his name, Corviknight, and Pachirisu. Okay. I have no idea what we're supposed to do against this team, but I guess I'm just gonna go in Torkoal Fluttermane because, you know, we might see Grimmsnarl in the open. A Mudsdale is going to be a bit of a problem. So I think Jumpluff and maybe Chien-Pao? Yeah, I would bring in like Great Tusk, but I don't think I'm going to be able to really withstand anything. I mean, Electros and Pachirisu wouldn't do anything to Great Tusk, like at all. Yeah, no, we'll bring in Great Tusk. I wanted to bring in Gyarados so badly, but Pachirisu and Electros is gonna do a number on him, and I don't know. I have no idea what Pachirisu is gonna do. I know he won a world tournament. All right, 2 shiny Pokemon. We got the Beetle and Grimmsnarl. Here, have some harsh weather. Has some heart. Rabsca. That's what that is. Okay. I mean, it's weak against whatever Torkoal can do. Yeah, we'll just set it for an Eruption, and we'll set it for a Moonblast for Grimmsnarl. Fake Out's not going to work because I'm not going to Terra. And I don't know what Rabsca's going to do. I don't know what the Beetle's going to do. I don't really see it a whole lot in the ladder, and I'm not particularly going to use it in any type of VGC format. So I have no idea what this guy's going to do. Light Screen for the Grimmsnarl. Moonblast into the Grimmsnarl now, which will just about KO. Dazzling Gleam from the Rabsca isn't going to do a whole lot, but Torkoal will now use Eruption, which will knock out Grimmsnarl all the way, and doesn't really do anything to the Rabsca. It knocks it 2/3, don't get me wrong, but usually Torkoal knocks out a lot of people. But he doesn't have Charcoal, so he doesn't get a 20% boost to his fire attacks, and he's not Terrafire. So obviously, that's just how it is. Shiny Mudsdale, let's go. We're gonna Helping Hand the Fluttermane, and we're gonna Moonblast right into Mudsdale. Because right now I am the fastest Pokemon on the field, and that Pokemon's not gonna really hit us for a lot. They will Terra, and it's gonna be the Mudsdale. Are you Steel? You're Ground. So you're gonna do a lot of damage to Torkoal if you lift this. It's neutral, so it's not gonna do a whole lot, and I'm not boosted in any way. So, yep, critical hit, knocks out the Mudsdale. That's the only time that would have worked. I don't think it would have worked any other way, though. With Specs, with Helping Hand, I don't think it would have worked. Revival Blessing, that's one thing that Pokemon does have. And you're going to bring back someone I just knocked out. Who is it? Ah, the Lepaberry. And you resent out Mudsdale at half HP. Okay. And that's leftovers. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do it again. Lepaberry will repair the Revival Blessing, so they get one more. Ooh! Stamina defenses rose. Earthquake from the Mudsdale. Telepathy does not attack Rabsca. Will not knock out either one of my Pokemon, but gets pretty close. Here comes another Eruption. Doesn't knock out either one, but it's because Stamina is giving Mudsdale the defense boost. Now, I remember in Gen 8, that wasn't defense, that was speed. I'm glad that they switched it, but that would have made that Pokemon even deadlier if it was speed-based and not defense. And here comes Electros, which is also shiny. We're gonna swap out Torkoal, bring out Great Tusk, and I'm just gonna blast Mudsdale right in the face with another Moonblast. we're just gonna do it this way. We're not gonna take any damage for the Electros. Attack was heightened for Great Tusk. Mudsdale will protect, so that's good on him. So you might knock out Fluttermane if Electros went after that slot. Otherwise, it's not going to do anything to the Great Tusk. Discharge, you will knock out the Fluttermane, but it will not touch Great Tusk. He's ground. So you did get one Pokemon. 100%. Okay, and now you recover a little bit more HP due to leftovers. But now you're gonna have a little bit more fun because now Jump Up comes out. And I believe I have one more turn of Sun. See, I do. I have one more turn of Sun. I'm gonna go ahead and Earthquake. And I mean, I know Mudsdale has leftovers. Yeah, we'll sleep the Mudsdale. Why not? Sleep powder. Go night night. Mudsdale. Earthquake. Didn't affect Jump Bluff. Electros has Levitate. Good call. But Mudsdale does go down. Ooh, Electros knows Giga Drain? That's dope. Swap you out for Torkoal. And we're going to Sleep Powder the Electros. I don't know what item that you have, but I know you have Discharge and Giga Drain. And I have to be very wary of Discharge. So now you go night night. You have to have your dedicated turn of sleep. Okay, that's dope. Alright, overheat to actually Eruption, Pollen Puff. This will do a lot. Electros is fast asleep. And here is an Eruption. Critical hit. Let's go. Critical hit. Let's go. Alrighty, and our next match is up and ready to go. We've got Hydreigon, Kilowattrel. Excuse me. Mimikyu, Glimora, Serena, and Iron Moth. Ooh, okay. So a lot of Pokemon we do have to worry about almost immediately. So how do we deal with this? Well, we do it this way. We open up with... I want to open up with Torkoal, but I don't think that's going to be the best bet. We're going to open up with Jump Bluff, Chien-Pao, because we're going to assume that either Mimikyu comes out, or Kilowattrel comes out, or Glimora comes out. And if one of those three comes out, we can sleep them because we're going to be one of the fastest things on the field, and we put a lot of pressure on them immediately for Chien-Pao. And then we're going to bring in Torkoal in the back to bring us the sun, and then we're going to bring in... Great Tusk. We'll leave Gyarados and Fluttermane home. Ooh, shiny King Gambit. Let's see how this match goes. Glimora and Mimikyu. So they're going to set it for a Trick Room team. I'm going to try to put that down like immediately. Sleep Powder the Mimikyu. And then I'm going to... Sacred Sword the... Nope, I can't. I'm going to Ice Spinner the Mimikyu. So we're going to break its disguise. It's going to cause a little bit of damage because that's what happens with disguise. And here comes Sleep Powder, which he avoids due to just avoiding it. Drain Punch will go into the to Chien-Pao, which will drop him to a Sash. That's really, really strong, but he did not go for Trick Room. You didn't need to. And are you using Mortal Ray for the Glimora? Power Gem, which will most likely knock out Jump Off. Yep, there it goes. Okay, we'll bring out Great Tusk. And we'll do the Earthquake. Hera, Wine, and we'll hit Glamora with Sucker Punch. So we totally misjudged that Mimikyu, thinking that it was a Tailwind build. Not Tailwind, but Trick Room build. Drain Punch is incredibly strong for that Pokemon. But right now it's 3 versus 4, and we've got a pretty good lead. So we'll see what happens next. Spiky Shield on the Glamora. So Sucker Punch is going to fail. But now Earthquake isn't going to do anything to me. Oh, Shadow Sneak. Priority. That's sad. But that's okay. Because now here comes Earthquake. Won't hit the Glamora, will not proc at Spiky Shield either. We'll hit the Mimikyu for a lot and is crit. So here comes Torkoal. Probably why they didn't use Trick Room. I haven't seen any item from Mimikyu. So we'll see what happens after this. I mean, it wouldn't be smart to use Trick Room, I believe. So I think they're kind of like in a spot where it's really weird. Earthquake by Great Tusk doesn't use Shadow Sneak, which is totally fine. We'll knock out both these Pokemon with no problem whatsoever. But Toxic Debris comes out, but it won't really affect my team because we're not having to switch out anymore. We're good. We don't have to. Toxic Debris only works when it's like Toxic Spites. The Pokemon that switches in gets poisoned. If you don't have to switch in, that ability is useless. Partly why I don't use Glamora myself. Serena's next. Shiny. Awesome. And Iron Moth. Also shiny. It's dope. It's really dope. And special attack was heightened. We're locked into Earthquake, so unfortunately I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot, but it is 2-2. We're going to overheat the Serena. This is obviously going to do a whole lot. Serena's going to protect. I can't protect this turn, so hopefully I can do a lot of damage to the Iron Moth. I'm trying to not do as much damage to Torkoal, though. I'm hoping. Torkoal barely lives with just 27 HP. Let's go. Overheat on the Serena, which isn't going to do a whole lot. Okay, we're going to Earthquake that slot. Now, I can do one of two different things. I can either Helping Hand. Yeah, actually, there's no one of two things. The discussion was I could protect here and keep him out for one more turn. Or Earthquake. But if she attacks and does a lot of damage, it's just Torkoal versus her and she outspeeds Torkoal. Or I can Helping Hand and give Great Tusk all the ability that I can't, which I'm going to do that now. Because I don't think she has anything that is going to like get her HP. That's the third. Torkoal unfortunately goes down. So let's see what happens. She can use Tropical Punch. It's still going to do it a lot of damage. That's half. Drops my attack. Yeah, they won this one. I'd have to use it one more time. I'd have to use it one more time, which is what I was trying to avoid, because I can Helping Hand or Protect. Protect does that, but I couldn't do enough damage. All right, and our final match of the day is here. We've got Gallade, Wuchen, Baxcalibur, Volcarona, Fluttermane, and Dragonite. All really useful Pokemon. Gallade especially knows Wide Guard, can use Quick Guard, besides using a wide variety of either like slicing attacks or just being a good support all around. He is kind of frail though, so that's another thing. We've got Baxcalibur that can easily wipe out a team if he's left alone by himself. But we'll bring in Torkoal, Fluttermane, and then Great Tusk, and what else should we bring in? I think Chien-Po. Yeah, we'll bring in Chien-Po. This might not be like the correct one, but if I use my Terra incorrectly, I could see myself getting into a position to where I don't like it. So it's kind of where I'm at in this situation. It's like, well, I could do this or I could do that, but I don't know. But they'll do Fluttermane and Volcarona. And here comes my Fluttermane and Torkoal. Our Fluttermanes now get a boost in the sun. Mine will get a speed boost. What is yours getting? Special attack boost. Okay. I will go ahead and... Wait, I could overheat. Yeah, let's overheat into the Volcarona and Shadow Ball into the Fluttermane. Here you go. Have one of these. And there you go. Fluttermane will go down in one hit. Heat Wave will now come out from the Volcarona, which Torkoal avoids, but it will hit the Fluttermane. It will not knock it out, but it'll get halfway. Torkoal will now use Overheat to get the Volcarona. 2/3. Now my strat drops kick in, so I'm like, maybe it's time to switch out, and I'm going to. And I'm going to bring out my man, Great Tusk. I'm locked in the Shadow Ball with Fluttermane, but I could swap him out to maybe bring out someone different. We'll see who the next pick is. It's Gallade. So Gallade's going to get hit really, really hard by Shadow Ball. So I don't really have anything to fear. We'll Rock Slide and Shadow Ball into the Gallade slot. Gallade will use Rock Slide or Wide Guard, which is going to prevent Rock Slide. But I will still hit Gallade with the Shadow Ball and knocks him out. Now prevents that, even though he just got knocked out. Volcarona will then follow up with a Heat Wave again. Makes me believe that they might be either Spect or Scarfed. Probably Spect. We'll see. We'll bring out Chien-Po. To be on the safe side, we'll bring out Chien-Po. Excalibur will come out last. So we're gonna Rock Slide here. Well, we could Terra Fire, but I don't think it's gonna last very long. Especially when, Ice Shard. Ice Shard is going to be a thing. So we'll swap out to Torkoal. And we will Sucker Punch the Volcarona. If it is choiced or anything like that, it's going to knock itself out right here. And because we brought out Torkoal, Ice Shard or Icicle Crash isn't going to do a whole lot. So Volcarona now faints. And Ice Shard goes into that slot. So we guessed it. We got it, guys. So Helping Hand will now go into Chien-Po, and Chien-Po will now use Sacred Sword on the Baxcalibur, which can protect. So far, he isn't doing that. Sacred Sword going to that slot, and will knock out the Baxcalibur one-hit KO. Not bad. We went 3-2 this this episode. Alrighty, so for our first match, we've got Chien Pao, Arcanine, Iron Bundle, Annihilate, Mimikyu, and Baxcalibur. So this isn't really a Trick Room setup, I can tell you that. We could see some Pokemon take advantage of that, but I don't think Mimikyu is built for that specifically. So I don't think that's going to be a good idea to build for him. But we can come in with Torkoal and Fluttermane, Great Tusk, and maybe Chien Pao, I think. Let's see. Chien Pao could take out Jumpluff. Great Tusk does nothing against Torkoal. Arcanine takes out Jumpluff. Chien Pao does nothing to Torkoal. Iron Bundle takes out Torkoal, Jumpluff, Gyarados. Great Tusk, ouch. That's a lot. Annihilate, about 50-50 across the board. Mimikyu, about 50-50 across the board. But Mimikyu also gets a priority move for Shadow Sneak, so that's something got to be considered. And Ice Shard comes out of Baxcalibur. We'll bring in Jumpluff. The other option I could have brought in too is Chien Pao, just because of the fact that Sucker Punch is still a thing. Icicle Crash could be an easy thing to switch into for Baxcalibur. And obviously Sacred Sword still does a lot of damage. It won't do anything to the Annihilate, but it's still an option. But if they open up with Annihilate, Iron Bundle, and I open up with Torkoal, Fluttermane. So Cork Drive is activated on Iron Bundle, bringing its speed up to 309. I'm going to protect. Should I protect on the Torkoal? Probably protect on the Torkoal. What do I do? Probably not. We'll Helping Hand instead. We'll Dazzle Gleam the set. Got a Terra. And it's the Annihilate, turning the Terra to Poison. That's a very interesting set there. Poison Terra for the Annihilate. I got the Helping Hand off of Torkoal first to the Fluttermane. Hydro Pump into Torkoal. It's gonna drop it down to 1 HP with a crit. Thank you, Sun, for making it so that Torkoal can survive, and Iron Bundle goes down by Dazzling Gleam. Now Rage Fist will now go into Fluttermane, which will knock it out. It's something that I kind of saw or foresaw happening. It's like he can either go into the Torkoal and double into that slot, or he can go into Fluttermane. But that's why I have two Pokemon that have choice items. And yeah. Next up is going to be the Arcanine. And the Great Tusk now comes in. Attack drops on both of these Pokemon. Now, because Eject Pact is still a thing, Torkoal is going to leave the field. And now Jumpluff comes out to play. Which means now I get not only the free switch in, I'm doubled in speed because of Chlorophyll, and I can Earthquake anything on the field and not really care. So I'm going to... Ooh, what do I do here? That's a good question. Okay, so the options that I have is either Terra, Jumpluff to negate the damage that I would receive from Arcanine, or I could Terra Fire for Great Tusk and absorb Will-O-Wisp. I think Sleep Powdering the Arcanine, Terra Fire, Earthquake's better. I think that's the better option. For sure. Because I don't want Will-O-Wisp. I already have -1 to my attack, so I just want to hit the Will-O-Wisp. And Earthquake is going to be able to do a lot of damage between these two Pokemon. Arcanine will protect, so there's no sleeping going on for that Arcanine. But I will Earthquake. Does not affect Jumpluff. He hits Annihilate down to the 1 HP, and ooh, that's interesting. Jumpluff moves slower than Great Tusk. Interesting. I did not know that. I'll go ahead and activate Tailwind now, because I can. Why not? I have nothing really to fear. I could swap out the Jumpluff or maybe the Great Tusk, because Arcanine now puts it into range for extreme speed. But I don't think that's going to really do a whole lot. I could also have Pollen Puffed into that slot. Annihilate will protect, so saves him an extra turn. Extreme speed goes into that slot, does not knock him out, but next turn I will definitely Pollen Puff. I will definitely Pollen Puff because I don't need that. But I think Arcanine's going to be down here. Oh, he will not be. Gets access to the Citrus Berry. Heals him up just a little bit more. Here's the Tailwind. Okay, Pollen Puff. The Great Tusk is going to switch out for the Torkoal. Because, again, I'm in range to be knocked out right away. So I'm going to go into Torkoal to then Extreme Speed, which is going to knock out Torkoal, which is totally fine. I foresaw that. Pollen Puff isn't going to do anything, unfortunately. And Gunk Shot also does nothing. Oh, it would have done something, but I avoided the attack. Now here's the thing. Extreme Speed is still going to knock out Great Tusk. It's very unfortunate, but that is a priority move that I cannot get rid of. Very effective, not very effective. Fine, we'll do that. And in the off chance that they've used it, I don't. Great Tusk didn't knocked out here. There's like no way to avoid it. All right, Earthquake. Annihilate will protect. Here comes the Extreme Speed. Knock out Great Tusks. Dang it! I tried. The Extreme Speed is obnoxious. There was nothing I could have done. But that's the end of this match. We are good. There's something else I want to check too. Yeah, Chlorophyll. That's so funny. How was Great Tusk faster than Jumpluff? That's really weird. All right, so our second match is ready to go. We've got Flamingo, Gallade, wow, Indity Male, that's interesting. Jumpluff, Lilligant, and Torkoal. So Trick Room outspeeds Torkoal, whatever. I'm not 100% sure how this is gonna go. I believe the last time I met up against the latter one, we did pretty well at knocking out all of the Pokemon with no problem. So I think what I'm gonna do is bring in Jumpluff, Great Tusk to kind of offset that. Fluttermane just because I can. And I should bring in my own Torkoal, but I don't think I have anything to really fear because they're gonna probably open up with their own Sun variant of either Jumpluff and Lilligant. So we'll bring in Chien Pao to end it all out. Now, Indity Male is pretty interesting here. I don't really understand what the mechanics are for that Pokemon. I'll bring up Cerebi here in just a minute. Let's see. The match looks like it's gotten started, so that's good. Psychic. Indity, where are you? Are you not Psychic? Yes, he is. There we go. All right, they send out Indity, no, Lilith and Gallade. That's cool. So it's kind of like the same thing that we kind of thought of. We're gonna go ahead and Tailwind and Rock Slide. Well, Should I Tailwind? I mean, they're not getting a bonus right now, and I'm faster than Lilligant is. So Sleep Powder, Gallade. And we will go ahead and just, yeah, Rock Slide. I mean, why not? Swapped out the Gallade. Bring out Jump Left. That's a good call. Very good call. Rock Slide now comes out. Hits both Pokemon. Sleep Powder into the Jump Left, which isn't going to do a whole lot because it's Grass type. And Quiver Dance. Raises attack, defense, and speed. And that's special attack and special defense, by the way. Very, very interesting batch of Pokemon here. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and... I want to Tailwind, and I'm going to do Rock Slide again. Lilligant will protect. That's good. That Jump Left will also protect, which is totally fine. Rock Slide, which isn't going to do anything, but I'm going to get the Tailwind off, and I'm switching out my Jump Left. I don't know if any one of these people have anything that I really need to fear at the front. So we're going to swap to Chien-Pao, and we're going to continue on with our Rock Slides, because Rock Sliding is fun. It's going to do a lot to Jump Left. I don't know if any one of us brought Torkoal. It's going to be funny if neither one of us did, thinking that one of us would bring it. That's interesting. But this totally shuts down their strat, so I'm okay with it. And even if it didn't, I'm really, really strong. Sent out Gallade. Rock Slide. Gallade will avoid the attack, but it will hit the Lilligant all the same. Giga Drain. Super effective. It's totally fine. Ooh, look at all that energy just go back. That's dope. That is dope. Okay, we're going to swap in for the Flutter Mane here. Now we're under Tailwind, so we're good. Chien-Pao will now attack the Lilligant, and Moonblast will now go into the Gallade. 1 and 1. So they could both protect or not protect. They protected 2 turns ago, so they do have access to it. I don't know about Gallade, but Lilligant can totally protect here. Just depends on what they want to do. They're gonna Terra. Okay. All right. Who is it? Gallade to Ground. Okay. Okay. Lilligant's gonna protect. That's good. Definitely good. Moonblast is going to go right into that slot, which is going to take about half. Drop its special attack 1 stage. Ice Spinner is going to go into the Lilligant, which isn't going to do anything because protect. And what is Gallade going to do? Earthquake. Okay. So now it gets boosted ×2 because that. Which will knock out Flutter Mane, unfortunately, but it will not knock out Chien-Pao. Chien-Pao is a little bit stronger than that. All right, Jump Left is now coming back out. And I'm going to go ahead and Ice Spinner into Lilligant again, but Pollen Puff into Chien-Pao. I should really go into Gallade. That probably should have been like the best option for me. But I didn't, so I have to live with the decision I made. So there's that. Withdrew Lilligant and brought out Indity. Here comes Psychic Surge to prevent the priority moves. They're not going to have Trick Room. Oh, they withdrew Gallade too. Okay. And sent out Jump Off. Okay, Ice Spinner. So I've seen all the Pokemon now. Into the Entity, which is going to take off Psychic Surge and knocks out the Entity right away. And Pollen Puff into the Chien Pao. Full health. And my Tailwind is now gone. Who is your next Pokemon? Quiver Dance is no longer around, so your +1 to Lilligant is gone. So that's interesting. And all of your Pokemon are considerably weaker to Chien Pao now. And he outspeeds a lot of you. So that's gonna be a thing. I'm gonna... Yeah. Tailwind and Ice Spinner into the Gallade. No more Earthquakes for you. Thank you. A mistake I should have done 2 turns ago, but they swapped them out, so it wasn't anything I could have really done. Fling. The Salac Berry. Does 1 damage. Boost their speed. Okay. Does Chien Pao still have... No, Fling... I bet you Fling was supposed to go to a different Pokemon. I think it was supposed to go to Gallade. Okay, he still has a Focus Sash. Ice Spinner. And we'll hit Jump Off. And we'll Pollen Puff. Okay, never mind. The battle is canceled. Not bad, but as soon as I took down Gallade, it was over. Alrighty, we've got our next match ready to go. We've got Kingambit, Arcanine, Fluttermane, Gardevoir, Garchomp, and Palafin. Okay. This is going to be a very weird assortment of Pokemon. So how do I deal with this this team here? Very delicately, I would assume. So let's bring in Torkoal and Fluttermane, Great Tusk, and Chien Pao. Yes. We're going to bring in these 4. We could offset a couple of Pokemon by bringing in Jumpluff, but then that lowers down the potential of having another Terra on another Pokemon, including like Chien Pao, which could be flying. So it allows Great Tusk to do a lot of damage to a lot of the Pokemon on that side of the field. Fluttermane can obviously knock out the Palafin with no problem, can also take care of the Garchomp and the other Fluttermane. Won't do anything to the Arcanine, but it does set us kind of decently up to the Kingambit. But I just don't want to bring in Gyarados for that Defiant Kingambit, upgrade. I think that would be kind of bad. So we're hoping and praying that the team is a little weird. Okay, I can't read any of that. The Arcanine and Gardevoir. Intimidate's gonna go off, and it's gonna send Torkoal in the back. Drought will now kick in, giving our Fluttermane a speed boost. Okay, 307, I believe. Yeah, it's 307. So now we'll bring out Great Tusk, which will now get a boost in his attack. I think it's like a +1. I think that's what the variants are. So we're gonna go headlong rush into that into Arcanine, and we're gonna Shadow Ball into the Gardevoir. Gardevoir could use Wide Guard, but I think it's more Gallade type of thing. Withdrew Arcanine to now bring out Garchomp. Shadow Ball will now go into the Gardevoir slot, which will knock it out right away. Kind of sad because I was hoping to see something. It could be also be a screener, but now we don't get to see it, so it doesn't really matter. Headlong Rush will go into the Garchomp slot, drops its defenses and special defense down one stage. Rough Skin also hits a Great Tusk for quite a bit, but we are now very, very fast. But we are locked in to that slot. Flutter Mane now comes out on their side of the field, which will now get the photosynthesis. Is it speed? It is speed. So now it's a speed tie between these two Pokemon. I'm going to Terra Fire and Headlong Rush into that Garchomp. Well, should I? Wait. Yes. Yes, I am. And Shadow Ball right into that slot across the way. So we're going to trade. Hopefully. Terra will now go into most likely the Flutter Mane, and it is. And it's Terra Fairy. Kind of leaving the Garchomp alone for the most part, and I don't blame them. But now I'm going to Terra, and I'm going to Terra the Great Tusk to Fire. So now if it's Dazzling Gleam, it's not going to do a whole lot of damage. And I might knock out this Garchomp before it can actually attack, because I'm faster than it currently with the Scarf. Shadow Ball. Ooh! We'll go into the other Flutter Mane that's Terra'd, and it will do 2/3. Dazzling Gleam will now come out of that Terra Fairy Gardevoir, or that Flutter Mane, which will not knock out either one of my Pokemon. Iron Head will now attack Flutter Mane, which is really, really interesting. Your target should have been Iron Tusk or Great Tusk there, but it was not. Also, really, really interesting that he still outsped me. What? Anyway, Rough Skin was now going to get into Great Tusk, but Garchomp is out of here. So now we'll bring in our friend Chien Pao. And now Arcanine comes out. Now Intimidate does lower down our attack, but we are in range of extreme speed. In the event that we aren't, we're going to swap out to Torkoal to do just a little bit more damage, and we're going to Sucker Punch into the Terra Flutter Mane. Most likely will attack, and even though that it's resistant against it, it could still knock itself out. It'll protect instead, so that's good. Sucker Punch does nothing, but I did not see an extreme speed from the Arcanine, so that's good. But it will Will-O-Wisp into Chien Pao. Good call, since, you know, Great Tusk could not be Will-O-Wisp. So from here on out, we're just going to go ahead and just hit Eruption and Sucker Punch into... yeah, Sucker Punch into Flutter Mane. Helping Hand on from the Arcanine over to Flutter Mane, which is totally fine. Now we know that it's going to attack. Sucker Punch will not go into that slot, and it will not knock it out. Dang it. But here comes the Dazzling Gleam, which will do a lot of damage now because it does have the Helping Hand damage. So Chien Pao now goes down because, unfortunately, Sash was broken. So now here comes the Eruption, which will knock out that Flutter Mane. So we know Will-O-Wisp, Helping Hand. I don't think he's used anything else. He could still have Extreme Speed. I'm not sure. But we are going to go ahead and Overheat into that slot, and we're going to Headlong Rush into that slot. Extreme Speed, and it's not going to knock out Great Tusk. It gets really, really close. Headlong Rush goes into that slot now, and we'll knock it out. Thank God I swapped out. That minus defenses would have done that. But we did take our match with a W. Alrighty. So the next match is ready to go. We've got Beartic Iron Bundle, Fluttermane, Garchomp, Abomasnow, and Talonflame. A wide assortment of Pokemon that are very challenging to a lot of different other Pokemon that we do have. I think the best course of action here is to maybe bring in Jumpluff so that we can maybe do something against other Pokemon. I'm not 100% sure, but since Abomasnow is here, we should probably bring in Chien-Pao because they're going to get a boost in the Weather War that we're about to have because I like having Weather Wars. Okay, so Fluttermane and Torkoal is going to be our beginning. Chien-Pao is going to be in the back, and times 4, times 2, times 4, times 2, times 4. Well, we're going with times 2. I say that because we do have Pokemon that are either times 4 to Iron Bundle or times 2 to Iron Bundle. But I do have a Terra Fire with Great Tusk, so it doesn't really get a weakness. I mean, like Hydro Pump, but you know. But they will open up with Abomasnow and Iron Bundle. So Snow will come up first, but gets taken out by Drought right after that. So we don't have to worry about that at all. And Fluttermane's speed is now heightened. And Quark Drive is activated on Iron Bundle. Is it speed? It is speed, so 309. Okay, for Torkoal, we're going to go ahead and have him protect because he's probably going to get targeted by this. And I'm going to just Thunderbolt the Iron Bundle out of here. They swapped out Abomasnow so they can continue on with the Weather War. And it's now Fluttermane. Good call. Photosynthesis now get activated. So its special attack was heightened. So that one probably will have Focus Sash. We'll see, or it could be Specs. Its special attack is heightened. Thunderbolt will now go into the Iron Bundle and just goes right into the KO range. Take that, and I'm now up 3-4. Are you gonna bring out Abomasnow? Yep, Abomasnow comes back. And Photosynthesis wore off, which is totally fine because both of our Pokemon just reset to 0 at this point. I'm going to go ahead and hit up Overheat on that slot, and I'm going to... I mean, I could... I'm going to swap to... I mean, I'm locked into Thunderbolt right now. It will hit the Fluttermane for quite a bit of damage. With me only using Overheat. Yeah. So Abomasnow could use Wide Guard here. Maybe. It's unlikely. But Terra will go onto the Fluttermane slot. We'll mention Terra Fairy, which is totally fine. We're going to see what the Abomasnow could do. He can also use Aura Veil, which is totally something they could do. Thunderbolt will go into that slot. It gets it about half, just a little above. Shadow Ball will not be retaliated against my Fluttermane, and brings it down to 3 HP. So Aura Veil now comes up from Abomasnow. And here comes Overheat, which will get the KO on Abomasnow, dropping my stats 2 stages for the special attack. I take down 1 Pokemon. I now retreat to bring out another Pokemon. And we are looking pretty spicy here. Who do I bring out? Great Tusk. That's who I bring out. Exactly who I want. And I'll tell you guys why. Because now they're going to bring out their 4th. I don't know who their 4th is. It is Garchomp, which is faster than Great Tusk, even with Scarf. So, we're going to go ahead and get started off with a Headlong Rush, I think. Yes, Headlong Rush into the Fluttermane slot, and I'm going to swap my Fluttermane for Torkoal. They're down to 3 HP. It's now 2 versus 4, my favor, and we're gonna reset the weather. Fluorescence is gonna activate on their Fluttermane, making their special attack heightened. But I'm also gonna get a huge attack boost on my Great Tusk. Headlong Rush will now go into that slot, knocking out the Fluttermane, which means now I'm faster than Garchomp because they're not scarfed. That's the only reason why Garchomp's ever faster than a scarfed Great Tusk, is that they have to be scarfed themselves. So Earth Power will now go into that slot, which will not do anything. Drops it down to 3 though, so that's interesting enough. He was hoping that would maybe like tear into something else, but I don't think that was the case. But we will swap out. I mean, we could swap out Great Tusk. And I mean, it is Headlong Rush. Yeah, you know what? We'll do that. We'll protect with Torkoal here. Because we're gonna lose the Great Tusk either by, you know, Rocky Skin or him attacking. So I'd much rather just put the damage out there and just call it quits. So Rob Skin kicks off, Great Tusk faints, but now forcing him to attack the Torkoal, which isn't going to do a whole lot. Earth Power comes in and does nothing. And now I bring out Fluttermane. And Fluttermane now gets a speed boost. And we're going to Moonblast into that slot. And Overheat into that slot. Moonblast knocks out Garchomp. And there goes that match. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, our 5th and final match is ready to go. We've got Vivillon, Bombasnow, Skeledirge, Iron Hands, Dragonite, and Ting Lu. An interesting assortment of Pokemon. Vivillon, having Intimidate, is also something to be feared. Also has Tailwind. Bombasnow to upset the Weather Wars, which we're currently having to deal with. Skeledirge is interesting. I've never seen him. I have seen him a couple of times, but not as much. Iron Hands is all over the place. Dragonite's all over the place. Ting Lu's all over the place. So those 3 I see all the time. We'll bring in our tried and true 4, because we're not going to really bring in Jump Bluff. We would help out with the switch-ins for Ting Lu. Who else? I mean, he's got close combat, but Sacred Sword also does a lot of damage. We won't bring in Great Tusk. Actually, we will, because Iron Hands and Skeledirge are weak against Great Tusk. And we'll bring in Fluttermane to help out with the Earthquake shenanigans that we want to do for the rest of the game. So I think that's how we're gonna rule the rest of this one. Yeah, I check up on the stats and see, it's like, why is Garchomp faster? And it's like, oh yeah, that's right. Their speed's 102 while Great Tusk is only 87. Yeah, that does it. Skeledirge and Ting Lu for our first starters, and Fluttermane and Torkoal is now out for our team. So Drought kicks in, powering up the Fluttermane with Photosynthesis. We are going to... What should we do here? I mean, special attack is down, right? That's what his ability is. I think his special attack goes down. What do I want to do here? I think the best option is to maybe set off with the Overheat to the Ting Lu and then Terra Fairy Moonblast into that slot too. I kind of want to get Ting Lu off the field just because of the fact that he's bulky. He's such a bulky Pokemon. And I'm not really doing anything to the Skeledirge, but at least Shadow Ball is not going to like knock out my Fluttermane. Even though I don't think that's what he would do. Skeledirge is going to protect on his side of the field though, which is leaving Ting Lu wide open for a full forced Moonblast to the face. Take this, yeah. Drops it down 3/4, and Heavy Slam now comes in. Will knock out the Fluttermane, but we now have Overheat coming in, and that should do enough damage in the sun to knock him out. And it does. So it was a nice trade, 2 for 1. Well, I shouldn't say 2 for 1, but I do get a free switch in now. So here's Great Tusk for the Torkoal switch in. And Jumpluff for the knockout switch in. And it brings out a Abomasnow, which is gonna reset the weather. Which at this point, I don't really think that's a bad idea. Rock Slide does hurt both. Rock Slide will hurt both. Close Combat will do nothing to Skeledirge, but Rock Slide, we can do that. And we will Tailwind. Should we Terra? No, we already Terra'd. We'll Tailwind. They'll now go ahead and Terra. Abomasnow is probably going to use Aura Veil. So Skeledirge now turns into Terra Fairy. Interesting. It's a good counter to a lot of Pokemon. We will Rock Slide to deal a lot on Abomasnow and Skeledirge, and we'll also Tailwind so that we get double speed. Skeledirge was flinching, couldn't move, and Abomasnow was flinching, could not move. And Skeledirge has leftovers. Interesting. We'll go ahead and Rock Slide again, but we'll swap out Jumpluff for Torkoal so that we can get the Weather Ward back on our side. Because I want more attack. Please and thank you. And Tailwind makes it so that we move faster now. So thank you. Activate Photosynthesis again. And here comes the Rock Slide. Ooh, Abomasnow almost gets knocked out by that. Terra Blast will come from the Skeledirge right into Great Tusk, which is gonna knock him out, unfortunately. Terra Blast, man, such a good move. And then Blizzard will do nothing because Torkoal is Torkoal, and this is Sun now. But now I'm in a very precarious position here. None of my attackers are still here. Torkoal can still attack though. So hopefully I get some sort of boost by Sleeping Skeledirge, and we'll hit him with the Eruption. I mean, why not? Abomasnow will protect. Sleep Powder will go into the Skeledirge. And Skeledirge is now asleep. And Eruption comes in, not doing so much on the Abomasnow, but it is going to hurt a lot to the Skeledirge. Ooh, what a knockout blow. Down goes Skeledirge. I have Tailwind and I have a Chlorophyll, and you can't switch out for Snow now. You're kind of in a terrible spot, depending on who you have. Iron Hands? Fake Out. Okay, gotcha. Fake Out, Fake Out, Fake Out. Pollen Puff, the Abomasnow, and we're going to protect Torkoal, because you're going to Fake Out. You could Fake Out Jumpluff. It could be a thing, but it's one thing I have to worry about. Pollen Puff will now go into the Abomasnow. They didn't try to do Fake Out, completely ignored that option. So what are you doing? Wild Charge? Drain Punch. And it's going to hit the Torkoal. Neat. Tailwind's not. Tailwind's gone. I mean, I don't really matter. We're going to sleep powder the Iron Hands now, and we're going to go ahead and just eruption that slot. Sleep powder lands on the Iron Hands. Take a nap, my man. Let's go the slow game. All right, so here we go with the eruption. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Is that citrus berry? That is in fact citrus berry. Oh my god. Yeah, we'll set up Tailwind again and we'll just erupt. Why not? Battle is canceled. Never mind. Battle is gone. We went 4-1. Let's go. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, our match is ready to go. We've got Golden Goat, Murkrow, Amoonguss, Volcarona, Great Tusk, and Chien Pao. Okay, so we will have to do our awesome open of Fluttermane Torkoal just because we will have to do with Murkrow, which is going to have Tailwind, unfortunately. And with Volcarona and Great Tusk in the back, we're going to be hurting quite a bit. So we're going to bring in Jumpluff to offset that. And we could potentially walk in with our own Great Tusk or Chien Pao just to kind of bring a little bit more offense on our side. I think Chien Pao is going to be the best one just because of the fact that Murkrow's weak against it. Great Tusk would be weak against it. Volcarona won't be, but we do have Torkoal that could possibly do something about that. But if we don't bring in Great Tusk, we can't really do anything to Volcarona. But we would be able to take out Amoonguss with Chien Pao. So we're more leaning to Chien Pao than Great Tusk. I mean, again, we don't really have an out for Volcarona, but I at least still want to have something. I want to have something. So here we go. Great Tusk and Amoonguss is the starters. And we've got a grid opening. That's 2 shinies versus Torkoal and Fluttermane, which is not shiny at all. Now, photosynthesis activates for Great Tusk and for my Fluttermane. But now we are in kind of like it's a weird spot, right? Great Tusk may be taken out before. So I'm going to overheat the Amoonguss and Moonblast the Great Tusk. I think that's going to be the game here. They're going to Terra. Probably the Amoonguss. It is the Amoonguss. Are you water? In fact, water. Good. Make him immune, but now you leave Great Tusk open to be completely annihilated by this Moonblast that's going to be coming out. Oh, Great Tusk does protect, so you save yourself. And not everyone's doing 0 speed on Amoonguss, so Amoonguss will do Spore, which will put Fluttermane to sleep. And Overheat will now come out, which isn't going to do a whole lot of damage to the Amoonguss, but I do lower my stats, which then offsets me. So now we'll bring in Chien Pao. This will put immediate pressure on the Great Tusk again, and still continue to apply that pressure. I'm going to go ahead and Ice Spinner the Great Tusk, and I'm going to swap out Fluttermane to bring in Jumpluff. So that Spore doesn't really hit anything else. Or at least not to this slot, because he probably like expected that would happen. Rage Powder will activate. So Ice Spinner will go into that slot. At least Amoonguss. It takes it down a little half. Oof. Oof. The Rock Slide. The Rock Slide. That hurts. How dare you? Alright, we're gonna... does Ice Spinner hurt? No, it doesn't. Okay. Sacred Sword into the Amoonguss, and we're gonna go ahead and Sleep Powder the Great Tusk. Saw that coming. That's why I said Sacred Sword to that slot. Sleep Powder goes into the Great Tusk. Puts him to sleep. Hopefully he'll stay asleep for a little bit. Sacred Sword into Amoonguss. Won't get the KO, but gets pretty close, and Great Tusk is now asleep. We know that it's not a choice item because he used Protect and then Rock Slide. He hasn't swapped out since. Okay. We're going to Sacred Sword into Amoonguss again, and we're going to go ahead and Pollen Puff the Qian Pao to get his health back up. Withdrew Amoonguss, so that's good. To bring out Murkrow. This is going to hurt him. That's going to hurt him a lot. Also, Shiny Murkrow. Prankster has Tailwind, does a lot of stuff. But here's Sacred Sword. Ooh, I thought that would do a lot more. Apparently it does not. All right, we're going to Ice Spinner into that slot. We're also going to Giga Drain into that slot as well. Tailwind to double the speed. Good call. Giga Drain off the Great Tusk, so I get a little bit more HP. Thank you. Brings me back up to the green. Tusk is still asleep. Here comes the Ice Spinner. This should knock him out now. Woo! Good call. And the sunlight faded. Here comes Volcarona. Also shiny. Ice Spinner. We can go into the Murkrow. And Volcarona's a bug type. It's in the back. Torkoal, Fluttermane. Okay. And we're gonna Sleep Powder the Volcarona. Murkrow will protect. That's good. Ice Spinner is gonna go into that slot. Heat Wave. Gonna do a lot of damage. Gonna knock out both of my Pokemon, so that's unfortunate. He does have Tailwind now, so it's kind of like a losing battle. I shouldn't say losing, it's definitely an uphill battle. We'll bring out the Drought again. Activate the Photosynthesis. And we'll go in with the Terrafire Eruption. And the Shadow Ball into Volcarona. That's what we'll do. I don't know what's going to happen from here. This may as well be a loss. He still has two Pokemon in the one Pokemon in the back. So it's 2 versus 3. One Pokemon on my side is asleep. And they haven't had their turn of sleep yet. Quiver Dance to increase the speed and special attack and defense, I think. Yep. Foul Play. Which won't do a whole lot to Fluttermane, unfortunately. But here comes the Eruption from downtown. Terrafire Torkoal. Doing a lot to both of these Pokemon. Let's go. And Volcarona has leftovers. Interesting. So I know who's your fourth. Oh yes, the Amoonguss. That's right. Shiny Amoonguss. We'll go ahead and just continue on with the eruptions. Thunderbolt. Because we haven't slept, like we haven't did our move yet, so we're just gonna go right into the Thunderbolt and hope for the best. Heat Wave from Volcarona, which will knock out the Fluttermane, but will not do anything to Torkoal. It does about half, about there. Spore will hit because Quiets, man. I need to take him off Quiet. The whole point, like in Trick Room, it is so good, but everyone invests zero, quote my buddy, no one invests speed in Amoonguss, and it's like, yet he's still faster than Torkoal. It's funny. We're gonna protect here to get the turn proc. Torkoal woke up to protect. There we go. But this game is over. It's far from over. Like, he would have to miss his next move for me to be able to hit, and I still have to try to survive both techs. Valkyra's in the green now. Yeah, that's game. We'll try it. Bug Buzz knocks it out. Nope. I tried, but the quiver dance is what did it. That's what did it. Match 1 wasn't bad. Let's see if we can do it for the next 4. Alrighty, and our next match is ready to go. We've got Iron Bundle, Abomasnow, Sandy Shocks, Slithering, Fluttermane, and Arcanine. Okay, so how do we deal with this team? I'm kind of shocked that Slithering is here, but at the same time I'm not. It's pretty much Volcarona just on 4 legs instead of flying. So let's go ahead and get ourselves set up for the inevitable weather war. And I think we'll bring in Great Tusk this time and use Terra Fire. I mean, we could still bring in Jumpluff. I don't know if that's going to be helpful though in this situation. We do have 3 people that can pretty much knock it out, and one Sandy Shocks can use gravity and just take it out of the freaking air. So we don't really want to do that. Let's go Chien Pao instead. Let's give this this team a try. I notice I'm not using a lot of Gyarados. I don't know if that's a terrible insight for me or what. I need to use more of it though. Fluttermane and Iron Bundle, because I can't read their names. Okay, Photosynthesis kicks off. My speed is heightened. Their special attack is heightened. And Quark Drive for the Iron Bundle kicks off. Okay. So first thing I want to do is protect Torkoal. And then I want to, Shadow Ball the Fluttermane. I want that Fluttermane off the field. They're probably going to Terra, which is a good option. But in this case, who do you Terra? Iron Bundle? Or do you Terra the Fluttermane? They don't Terra, so that's a good call. I'm going to go first after he goes with Icy Wind, which is not going to hurt Torkoal at all because he's protected. Going to lower the speed on the Fluttermane just a smidge, but not. I don't think it's going to be enough for the other one to outspeed. It will not. Shadow Ball gets into their Fluttermane and will get the one-hit KO. Oh, that was a crit too. Ouch. Ouch. Alrighty. What do you plan on doing now? Who is your next? Arcanine. Okay. I mean, I'll take that. I'll take that all day. All day. Because now you proc Torkoal. He leaves. Which one's the better one? Great Tusk. And we will Terra Fire here to ignore the Will-O-Wisp and not receive any damage from Freeze Dry. That's going to be the thing here. So Terra Fire, Rock Slide. Both of them are super effective. I will take that. Shadow Ball will now go into the Iron Bundle. Withdrew Arcanine. Good call. So who's your third? Abomasnow drops the weather. I think he's still weak against rock types though. Here comes Terra Fire, so I ignore whatever's going to come my way. It's probably a Blizzard coming out from Iron Bundle. which may knock out the Fluttermane. I'm not sure. Their item was Quirk Drive, so I know they're not holding anything else. Aura Veil. Good call. I forgot he learns that. Rock Slide goes into both slots. Won't do a lot of damage because of the fact that Aura Veil Shadow Ball now hits Iron Bundle for the rest of it. Arcanine's now out here. He cannot switch. So, guys, here's the play. We switch out Great Tusk to bring in Torkoal and Shadow Ball the Abomasnow. Now, Aura Veil does not shatter, unfortunately, since we're switching the weather. It still stays up, so that part of the job is done. It's been completed. But now I get Photosynthesis back. Oh, my special attack was heightened because my speed's down. Oh, that's funny. Oh, this is gonna hurt a lot. Even with Aura Veil, that still hurts quite a bit. Oh, that's so funny. I was not expecting that whatsoever. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and erupt then, and Shadow Ball into Arcanine. Abomasnow protects, good on him. That's so funny, I wasn't expecting that. Flare Blitz will then go into Fluttermane and will knock him out. But that's why I did the double attack. And here comes a well-rounded eruption from Torkoal. Isn't going to do anything to the Abomasnow, unfortunately, but should do quite a bit of damage to the Arcanine. That wasn't it. But now we'll summon out the Great Tusk. Okay, attack is heightened. We're gonna go ahead and Helping Hand the Great Tusk. Earthquake doesn't do a whole lot, so we won't do that. We won't do that. We will Headlong Rush and Eruption again. He'll probably go for the Will-O-Wisp again and realize that he cannot be burnt. Fire says no, but he could also do Extreme Speed, maybe Flare Blitz, something. They do access their own Terra, and it's going to be for the Arcanine. And he's now flying. Okay. All right. I mean, that's a good call. You completely ignore Headlong Rush. That's great on you. Flare Blitz is now going to go onto the Torkoal. Isn't going to do a whole lot, unfortunately. It's like 49 damage. Earth Power onto that slot is going to not knock out the Great Tusk. I thought it was. But here comes the Eruption. And both KO. Oh, crit on the Arcanine too. That's so dope. Oh, Torkoal, man. The unsuspecting prey. Oh, prey taker, I should say. Alrighty. Ooh, this is a good team we have here. All right, so we got Tyranitar, Lycanroc, Indeedee Female, Armarouge, Chiyu, and Breloom. So, obvious Weather War with T-Tar, but Lycanroc will also take advantage of the Sandstream that is going to be coming out. So we will be going back and forth. I think the call for this one is to, I mean, like I want to bring out Torkoal, but if I start the Weather War, he's going to swap out to then bring out the weather, which is going to really call in for Lycanroc to be one of the hardest hitting Pokemon in the game. So let's see. We might start off with both of our setups. I think that's probably not going to help. I don't like this. Okay. We'll start with Torkoal, Great Tusk, Jumpluff, Fluttermane. I think that's how we're going to deal with this team. I pray this is how we get the win. If he starts out with Tyranitar, I'm slower, which means that my weather will overwrite his. If he doesn't bring out Tyranitar, it's going to be a huge weather war from then on out. And I have to really, really play smart. I can't read any of that. Chi-Yu and Breloom, so it's no weather. Okay, Beads of Ruin lowers down everyone's special defenses. So Breloom has Mach Punch as a priority move. Isn't really going to outspeed me per se, but I think Terrain might be the best option. We're going to overheat into that slot and Headlong Rush into... Yeah, we're going to Terra Fire, Headlong Rush into Chi-Yu. I think that's going to be the best option because Mach Punch, I think it's a Steel type move, which isn't going to do a whole lot to fire types, but it could do a lot of damage to fighting ground. I'm not 100%. In the event that it doesn't, though, I just kind of want it to be off. It really like upsets things for Jumpluff in the future because like Rock Slide and stuff could come out from, you know, Lycanroc or even Tyranitar. I'm hoping that's not the case. Chi will protect though, so it doesn't get anything off. Headlong Rush will go into that slots, which won't do much. There's no Mach Punch, but Bullet Seed comes out. So that's a 5 hitting move, which isn't going to do a whole lot because we Terra'd, so thank God we read something. Overheat will now hit to the Breloom, which will knock him out. Thanks Chi-Yu for lowering down your buddy's special defenses. Woo! And this sets me up perfectly for the next one. And I believe we can either bring out Fluttermane and have our special, or no, our speed increased, or we could go in with Jump Up. I think Fluttermane's could be best. Now, if he brings Tyranitar out now, that's a good play. Good play and a good call. So our speed is now heightened due to the sun. And I can't read that, but it is T-Tar. So Photosynthesis War on both Great Tusk and Fluttermane, so that's a good call for him. But I'm going to Moonblast into that slot. And I believe, yep, I'm locked into Headlong Rush. I'm going to hit T-Tar. I'm going to leave Chi-Yu alone, even though it's a terrible idea. I'm one of the fastest people on the field. So now they're going to Terra. Who are they going to have it on? Is it, it's Chi-Yu. Chi-Yu goes Water. Okay. It's a good thing I didn't hit Chi-Yu with Headlong Rush, because this wouldn't have done a lot. But Headlong Rush will now hit T-Tar, knocks him out, gets him right out of the field. Get out of here. Defenses drop by Great Tusk. And now I'm gonna hit this Chi-Yu for a lot, because now he's not resistant to Fairy, but it drops him down to maybe 3. Also dropping a special attack. His Terra Blast will now kick in, which is gonna go into the Great Tusk. And it's gonna knock him out, unfortunately, but you know what? I don't care. He has served more than just his purpose. This is Great Tusk, man. You are the dopest Pokemon I have ever had. Oh, and that was a life form. Chi-Yu knocks himself out. That's dope. Oh no! Fluttermane gets bumped by the sand, so here comes Torkoal to reset the weather. Oh my god, did this play out differently than I thought. Lycanroc is going to come out, but guess what? Drop kicks in, and your special is now gone. I'm sorry, Lycanroc. Oh. You are the person I was fearing the most, and I don't have to fear you anymore, because now you are going to get smushed. Battle was canceled. What a really good match 3. I was not expecting that whatsoever. Oh no. For match number 4, we've got Gyarados, Baxcalibur, Armarouge, Dunsparce, Fluttermane, and Hariyama. Okay. how do we deal with this team, guys? How do we do with this? Gyarados, Excalibur, Armarouge, Fluttermane, Hariyama is probably the most annoying person to deal with. Okay, so we're gonna go in with Fluttermane and Torkoal, Chien-Pao, and Jumpluff. We're not gonna bring in Great Tusk because he's got Gyarados in there, which could offset things, and he also has Excalibur in there, which is gonna have Ice Shard as a priority move. Hariyama isn't really going to do a whole lot. It's a fake out user, but he also has Guts or Thick Fat, depending on which one you want to build for. Guts is prominently what's used, which means he's going to be hitting for a lot. And even he has Heavy Slam, so it even puts Fluttermane to danger. But to Dunsparce is a normal type. He's probably going to use Boom Burst. And if Boom Burst is a thing, that's going to not do a whole lot. But he also has Rattled. So we do need to keep an eye on whether or not he gets hit a lot, because if he gets hit a lot, his speed increases and he gets really, really fast. So Excalibur and Hariyama gets opened up first. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our photosynthesis off. We're going to go ahead and protect the Torkoal. And I kind of want to do... We're going to use our Terra to set up for Dazzle Gleam. This is going to hit both of them for a lot. Now, my hope is that Hariyama goes for the Fake Out on the Torkoal. I mean, it could work on the Fluttermane. If it does, he guessed right. But Torkoal now goes that. Fake Out. Oh, White Guard. Even worse. Even worse. He called it. No. Maybe Moonblast should have been the thing. Dang it. So no Fake Out. Excalibur will use Earthquake, which will not hurt Hariyama. It's a good call. Will not hurt Torkoal either, but it will hit the Fluttermane for quite a bit. Oh, crit. Dark Drink brings it down to 2 HP. It's still alive, and I'm locked into that move now. I'm gonna overheat on the Hariyama, and I'm gonna have to... I'm locked into Dazzling Gleam. Ice Shard. It's fine. I was kind of doomed at that point. There's not a whole lot that I could have done there. Rock Slide comes out, so it's not a choice item. We'll drop Torkoal to about half. Here comes the Overheat, which will hit the Hariyama, almost bringing him down to 0. Will not knock him out, though, but gets pretty close. Jetpack will now take out Torkoal. So now I get a free switch in, and I have a way to deal with these Pokemon now. The thing is that Jumpluff is now in range of Excalibur, so I have to be really, really careful what I do here. Alright, I'm going to hit the Excalibur. I'm going to switch Jumpluff out for Torkoal, because Ice Shard is going to be a thing. And while I can counter Ice Shard, I cannot counter anything else. Ice Shard will go into that slot, so I called correctly. Sacred Sword goes into the Excalibur. Almost knocking him out. Doesn't do a whole lot, but close combat into the Chi-Yu slot. Well, I'll bring him down to his Sash. Dropping Hariyama's defenses now. Burning him. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and protect here on both my team. I think that's the better play because he could use Ice Shard. I know that see, there goes the Ice Shard. It was for the Chien-Pao. So the priority would have hit there. Rock Slide would have been really detrimental for both of my Pokemon. Oof. Oof. Oh, it's not enough. I was really hoping that the burn would take him out. Okay. We're gonna Sucker Punch the Baxcalibur. And I'm going to overheat. I'm gonna go for the double. For the double, let's go. Doesn't work. Sucker Punch into the Baxcalibur will knock him out. Rock Slide. Knock out both. Oh, no. It leaves Jumpluff by himself. Sun's gone, and Hariyama burnt himself to oblivion. So what's the Guts Flame Orb combo? And it still hurts a lot, don't get me wrong. But now it's 2-on-1. With the sun gone. And Armarouge at the end? No. And Gyarados. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Alright, Sleep Powder the Armarouge. That should be faster. Does not work because he avoided it. Okay, Taunt. And here comes Armor Kit. Oh, Heat Wave. Not bad. Oh, I am left with 23 HP. Let's go, but it doesn't matter. We'll just suck out the Gyarados. Giga Drain. Game's over. Dang it, I was so close to the thought that I had. You guys have no idea. Psyshock. You guys have no idea. I was really hoping to end at 50 and 50. That would have been so dope to end episode 20 50-50. That was so cool. All right, our fifth and final match of the day is going to be against Fluttermane, Dragonite, Chien-Pao, Great Tusk, Klefki, and Iron Moth. This is a really good assortment of team players here. Dragonite, Chien-Pao open. That's why. For some reason, I'm now battling against people that are sub 8,000. Like the fourth match was against someone that was like 5,900. Now this one's like 7,400 or something like that. This is dope. Okay, so what should we do with this particular team? Torkoal, Fluttermane, Jumpluff, and Chien-Pao. Well, no, Great Tusk. Because I'm worried about Iron Moth. Like, I know what Dragonite's going to do. I know what Chien-Pao's going to do. I know what Great Tusk is going to do. I know what Fluttermane's going to do. I don't know what Klefki's going to do. And I don't know what Iron Moth is going to do. Iron Moth lately have been boosted to be like a special attacker. So that's interesting. But Klefki, is he just a screens person? Opens up with the Dragonite Chien-Pao combo. So this is an interesting turn of events here. Okay, so Dark is stronger against Ghost, so I do have to worry about Sucker Punch here. I think Over or Eruption is going to be the best cause for Torkoal. Terra. No, if they use Extreme Speed, it does nothing to Fluttermane. So what should I do here? Moonblast would do a lot. Dazzling Gleam. Chien-Pao will protect, so that's good. Dazzling Gleam will now come out, and it's going to do a lot to the Dragonite if it's not multi-scale, and I don't see why it wouldn't be. It's not. Ironhead will go into the Fluttermane, which will do a lot of damage. Will knock it out right away. But here comes the Eruption. Yep, here comes the Eruption, which will not do anything to the Chien-Pao, but will hit the Dragonite for a lot of damage. Wait, how did that not do anything? That doesn't make any freaking sense. How did that not do anything? Here comes Great Tusk. Attack is heightened. That doesn't make any sense. How did that not hurt anybody? Oh, it's not very effective just in general. Okay. All right, we'll just continue overheating. Not overheat, but eruption, and I will start off with the earthquake. Not earthquake, but rock slide. Okay, we're gonna lower down the defenses. Well, his Chien-Pao lowers down the defenses of everyone on the field except for himself. So this rock slide that's gonna come out should do a lot of damage. Extreme speed will go into the Torkoal, which isn't gonna do a whole lot. Rock slide will now come in and hit both. We'll drop the Dragonite. And Chien-Pao will now use Ice Spinner onto the Great Tusk, which isn't going to do a whole lot because it is fire. And here comes the Eruption from the Torkoal, which should knock out Chien-Pao. Ooh, so was that Dragonite literally multi-scale, or was it... I mean, it had to be, unless it was an Assault Vest build. It didn't use Protect. Fluttermane now comes out for their side of the field, and Iron Moth. Which Cork Drive activates in its special attack, or is it speed? Speed was heightened. And now Fluttermane's special attack was also increased. Alright, so Torkoal is going to go ahead and go with the Overheat to Fluttermane. And I'm going to continue on with the Rock Slide, because I'm unfortunately locked into that slot. But I negate almost everything that they have. Acid Spray to the Great Tusk, which is special defenses drop partially. So good call. Fluttermane flinching, could not move. Here comes the Overheat on the Fluttermane to knock it out. I wonder what Fluttermane was going to do with that -2 special defenses. Oof. Oof. Eject Pack should now kick in to kick Torkoal off the field, and that allows Jumpluff to come onto the field and says hello to the world. Now, I believe I'm faster than that Pokemon there for sure. And I'm going to make it even more so. I'm going to Tailwind and Rock Slide. Battle is canceled. Never mind. I'm not going to do any of those things.